Picture Jake. Jake is 29, smart guy, works in sales, pulls in $72,000 a year. On paper, he's doing fine, but scroll through his Instagram and you'll see a different story. The Rolex on his wrist, the off-white sneakers at the gym, the business class upgrade he posted last April on a flight to a conference nobody asked him to attend, the Porsche Macan he leases, that he parks 3 blocks from his apartment building because the garage fee is $280 a month and he hasn't gotten around to it. Jake is not building wealth. Jake is building an image. And the terrifying part, Jake genuinely believes these purchases are reasonable. He has a justification for every single one of them. The watch is an investment. The sneakers were on sale. The car gives him confidence in client meetings. The business class seat was for his mental health. Today, we're going to dissect the ego purchase, the most financially destructive habit that almost nobody talks about. Not because it's dramatic like gambling, but because it's quiet, it's constant, and it's dressed up to look like success. An ego purchase is any spending decision where the primary return you're seeking isn't utility, it's identity. You're not buying the thing, you're buying the version of yourself you believe the thing creates. The difference sounds subtle. It isn't. When Jake buys work shoes for $90, that's utility. He needs shoes. When Jake buys a $650 pair of designer loafers because he read somewhere that people judge you in the first 7 seconds, that's ego. He's not solving a problem. He's trying to control how other people perceive him. And here's the brutal truth about ego purchases. The people you're trying to impress aren't paying attention. Studies consistently show that observers remember far less about your appearance and possessions than you assume. The psychological term is the spotlight effect. You dramatically overestimate how much other people notice you. You walk into a room in your new watch feeling like everyone clocked it. They didn't. They were thinking about themselves. You are spending thousands of dollars performing for an audience that isn't watching. Let's put real numbers on this, because feelings don't tell the story. Math does. Here's Jake's ego purchase stack over a single year. Luxury watch. Jake financed a pre-owned Rolex Submariner for $9,200. He put $1,500 down and is paying $240 a month for 36 months. Total cost with financing? Just over $10,100. Sneaker habit. Jake averages 1 limited or designer sneaker drop every 6 weeks. Average price, $220 a pair. That's roughly 8 pairs a year, $1,760. Porsche Macan lease, $749 a month. He justifies it because his previous car broke down once. Over 36 months, that's $26,964. And at the end of the lease, he owns nothing. 0 equity. He just rented a status symbol. Business class upgrades and experience spending. 2 or 3 times a year, Jake bumps himself up on flights or books the nicer hotel room because he works hard and deserves it. Let's call it $1,800 a year. Designer clothing, accessories, and grooming. Jake shops at stores that have minimalist logos and charge $180 for a plain white t-shirt. Annual spend? Roughly $3,200. Add it up. In 1 year, Jake spent $43,824 on ego purchases. That's 61% of his gross salary, before tax, before rent, before food. He has $4,000 in his savings account. He has no brokerage account. He has no emergency fund. Jake looks rich. Jake is broke. Here's what makes this so dangerous. Unlike impulse buying a candy bar, ego purchases always come with a story. Jake didn't just buy a car. He bought it because image matters in sales. He didn't just buy the watch. Watches hold their value. He didn't just buy the loafers. You have to dress the part. Each purchase has a built-in narrative that makes it feel strategic, practical even. And that narrative is almost always borrowed from somewhere else. a podcast, a LinkedIn post, a mentor who mentioned that first impressions are everything. This is ego laundering. You take a vanity purchase, run it through a productivity or investment argument, and it comes out the other side looking like a decision a serious person would make. Let's kill each of Jake's justifications one by one. Justification 1. The watch is an investment. No, it isn't. Unless you're buying extremely rare, limited edition pieces at auction and selling them into a collector's market, which Jake is not doing, watches are depreciating assets. The secondary market for common luxury watches has softened significantly since 2022. Jake's Submariner, bought for $9,200, will likely sell for $7,500 to $8,200 in 3 years if the market holds. That's a $1,000 to $1,700 loss, plus the interest he paid on financing. An actual investment, a broad market index fund, would have turned that same $9,200 into roughly $11,400 over 3 years at historical average returns. He didn't make an investment, he bought a very expensive clock. Justification 2. The car helps in client meetings. Jake is in software sales. He meets clients in their offices, on Zoom, or in coffee shops. The car gets him to the meeting. No client has ever signed a deal because of what was parked in the garage. And if they did, Jake should find new clients. More importantly, the math on the Porsche lease is catastrophic. $749 a month is $8,988 a year. A reliable 4-year-old Honda Accord costs $22,000 used. Monthly payment at 5% over 48 months, roughly $500, and he owns it at the end. The difference is $249 a month, $2,988 a year. Over 3 years, choosing the Porsche over the Accord costs Jake almost $9,000 in extra spending and zero equity at the end. The car isn't helping Jake close deals. The car is closing the door on his financial future. Justification 3. I work hard. I deserve nice things. This one is the most emotionally loaded, so I'm going to say it plainly. Deserving something and being able to afford it are two different conversations. Jake works hard. That's real. But spending money to reward yourself for earning money is a loop that ends with nothing. You can acknowledge hard work without setting $43,000 every year to prove it. Now here's where it gets truly painful. Jake's $43,824 annual ego spending isn't just $43,824. It's the retirement account that doesn't exist. It's the emergency fund that never materialized. It's the down payment on a home that keeps getting further away. If Jake redirected just half of his annual ego spending, $21,912 every year starting at age 29, and earned a conservative 7% annual return, here's what happens. By age 40, $340,000. By age 50, $990,000. By age 60, $2.5 million. He would be a multi-millionaire, not because he got lucky, not because he picked the right stock, just because he stopped spending money on a version of himself that doesn't exist yet. Instead, at 29, Jake has $4,000 saved. At 60, if the pattern holds, Jake will be entirely dependent on Social Security and the goodwill of whoever is still willing to hire a 60-year-old in a volatile job market. But he will have owned some excellent footwear. Here's what makes Jake can't stop. Psychologists call it hedonic adaptation. It's the documented tendency for humans to return to a relatively stable level of happiness regardless of major positive events or purchases. In plain English, you get used to everything. Jake remembers the first week he had the Rolex. He looked at his wrist 40 times a day. He felt successful, capable, like the person he was trying to become. By week 8, it was just a watch. But here's the cruel twist. The financial obligation never adapts. The watch payment stays at $240 a month whether the thrill is there or not. The emotional high fades in weeks. The bill is forever. So, Jake does what every ego purchaser does. He moves the goalpost. the next thing will do it. The next level of visible success will finally make him feel like he's arrived. A better watch, a bigger car, a vacation that looks a certain way in photos. It never resolves, because the thing he's actually trying to buy, certainty about his own worth, isn't for sale. You cannot purchase self-esteem. You can only rent its counterfeit, and the monthly payment never goes away. Let me show you two parallel paths. Jake A., the Jake we've been talking about, spends his 30s looking the part. The Rolex, the Porsche, the curated wardrobe. By 38, he's earning $90,000. He's also carrying $18,000 in credit card debt from lifestyle overflow, renting an apartment because he never saved a down payment, and quietly dreading his monthly bank statements. His net worth at 38 is negative $14,000. Jake B. makes one decision at 29. He draws a line. Not a frugal, joyless line. He still travels, still dresses well, still enjoys his life. But he stops buying for the audience. He buys a 3-year-old Mazda for $19,000. He keeps the cheaper watch his father gave him. He channels $1,800 a month into index funds. By 38, Jake B's investment portfolio is sitting at $285,000. He bought a house at 33. He has 6 months of expenses saved. His net worth, $340,000. Same salary, same city, same starting point. The only difference is that Jake B stopped paying to perform. Now ask yourself 3 questions about every major purchase you make. Question 1. Would I still want this if nobody could see it? If the Rolex lived in a drawer and nobody knew you owned it, would you still spend $9,200 on it? If the honest answer is no, that's your answer. You're not buying the object, you're buying the visibility of the object. Question 2. Am I solving a problem or am I solving a feeling? Jake's old car wasn't broken. He felt like it didn't represent him anymore. That's not a transportation problem. That's a self-image problem. And a $749 monthly lease is a spectacularly expensive therapist. Question 3. Who, specifically, am I trying to impress, and would they actually notice? Name the person, picture them seeing you with the thing. Now ask honestly, would this change how they treat you in any meaningful, lasting way? Almost universally, the answer is no. People are far more impressed by security, generosity, and confidence than by logos. You don't need the logo. You don't need the lease. You don't need the validation of strangers scrolling past your posts in 4 seconds before moving on. What you need is a system, a number, and the honesty to ask yourself whose life you're actually building, yours or the one you think other people want to see.